5 things that I think, if we remembered, would get us closer to better work. And when I say we, I mean advertisers and ad agencies together. The first thing to remember is that nobody gives a flying fox about the message you're trying to get across to them. Nobody cares, and that's so easy to forget. It's so easy to forget that the thing that keeps you awake at night, that you care passionately about, and that you devote your life to 99.9% of people, they just don't know about it, and they don't even know they don't know about it, and they don't care about it. And the first line written in invisible ink on the top of every creative brief is make it interesting, catch people's attention, and give them a reason to care. And it's very, very easy when, like, often what happens when you're presenting work to a client, the feedback that comes back, and I'm sure this happens when marketing managers present that on up the line as well. People will say, it's great, that bit at the top where the person is just talking about stuff, can we get rid of that? And because then we'll be able to talk a little bit more about the product. And it's very hard to argue with that from a creative point of view without sounding like a precious prima donna. But actually, that bit there at the top, or wherever it is in the commercial, it's not there to serve the creative's interests. It's not there to serve the client's interests. It's there to overcome the public's complete disinterest. And it's really, really important, and it has a good purpose. So that's something to remember. Trust your creative partners. This is just a plea to trust your creative partners. I suppose nobody is going to become a famous marketeer without taking a bit of a leap, because to create work that is genuinely new, obviously it's not going to be tried and tested before, so that's a bit of a conundrum. But so there's a leap required, but it's not necessary. I think that the operative word is not risk, it's trust. And I think if you trust your creative agency to do the thing that they specialize in, which is creative work, you'll be well on your way to getting terrific work. Yeah, so that's the point there. Trust us. The next point is, worry less about going too far and more about starting from the right place. A lot of the most effective work, which we just had a peek at a minute ago, a lot of it is kind of far-fetched. And if you're a marketeer and you're kind of placing £500,000 chip on something, or you're betting your career on something, far-fetched can be a scary prospect. And I suppose what I would offer by way of advice there is to be sure that the brief is rock solid, that not even the brief so much as the insight from which you're starting is rock solid, because all of that work, like Cadbury's Gorilla, is based on that idea that chocolate is joy. It's just good chocolate is pure joy. The John Lewis stuff is based on the idea, I guess, that Christmas isn't about stuff, it's about giving. And when you get that thinking right, when you spend your time just crafting that and making the foundations rock solid, you can kind of build very high and build very unusual structures on it. So worry more about starting in the right place than going too far. Sticky is good. I guess what I'm thinking here is that it's so easy during the creative process, from script right through research, right through production, post-production. It's very easy to knock the edges off stuff, to knock the interesting bits off stuff. But those spikes, those kind of bits that create a bit of discussion or that maybe don't make complete rational sense, they're what memories are made of. They're the bits that people talk about. And that's ultimately what we want to do, is get people talking. I've just used a grab from a Donegal catch ad we made years and years ago, and there was a line in it about keeping your idea on file in a filing cabinet. And it was just ad-libbed by one of the actors. It would have been so easy to chop it out. Lots of people wanted to chop it out, but it just felt like it's kind of an interesting line. And it's just a really small example of what I mean by this. Stuff doesn't have to make sense for it to earn a right to stay in the work. And finally, run with it. I think a really great and obvious way to increase the return on investment in creativity is to be ready to run with a successful campaign. So it's this idea that, which we talk about a lot, don't just launch and leave your campaign. So don't just create your big assets of your campaign, put them out there, and then turn off the lights. Be ready to run with stuff. It's the idea of stock and flow. Create big brand assets, but then keep that stuff alive. Respond to people's responses to it, and run with it. So there are 5 small things. The big thing that I would leave you with is the first point I made. Just make stuff interesting. In Irish International, we've got a creative room in the spare building, which it's kind of like a building site. It's just somewhere to go and get away from phones and emails and everything. And that's what it says on the wall outside: "Welcome to the war on boring." And I think that's what advertising creativity is all about. It's about fighting a war on boringness. And I think if you remember that, you're well on your way to getting really, really good return on your investment in creativity.